How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to A Bogan's Guide to the World. Coming in on Sit Down, because today we're talking about drugs, man. Cannabis, to be exact.
Okay.
New Zealand's #1 drug of choice. So New Zealand likes to think of itself as being pretty clean, green and relaxed. But there's one thing that we're pretty terrible at talking about, and that's drugs, man. But this isn't a how-to or an encouragement video. And it's definitely not a lecture from someone who hasn't done drugs before. This is an honest look of how drugs shape New Zealand, why our system keeps on tripping, and why, whether or not we like to admit it, but New Zealand's on drugs, man. Alright, hello, welcome New Zealand, and welcome back to the show where love is blind, consequences are long term, and every contestant is legally allowed to ruin your life. This is
New Zealand's drug of choice.
Tonight, our lucky contestant, you, will be choosing between three very familiar faces. They're legal, they're popular, and they're socially acceptable. Please welcome our contestants. Contestant number 1, Cannabis. Cannabis is natural, grows in the ground, responds well to sunlight and neglect. Cannabis also enjoys relaxing, laughing at nothing, and making food taste incredible. Cannabis says that it's good for stress, pain, sleep, and making boring conversations more survivable. But cannabis does not enjoy aggression, violence, bar fights, or running marathons. Though side effects may include forgetting what you're saying, forgetting what you're doing, forgetting what are we forgetting? Cannabis is illegal recreationally, but medicinally approved, which makes it both dangerous and medicine, depending on the paperwork. Alright folks, let's hear from contestant number 2, cigarettes. Contestant number 2 is the humble dart. Cigarettes are classic, reliable, and incredibly committed to killing you. Cigarettes don't get you high, they don't make you feel good, they just make you crave another one. Cigarettes promise to reduce stress, mostly the stress that they caused, social bonding outside bars, and a quiet 5 minutes alone. Cigarettes are fully legal, heavily taxed, but still sold everywhere. They're responsible for thousands of deaths, but they look cool in old movies, eh? They're funded, defended, and historically predicted by lobbyists who absolutely do not smoke themselves. Right folks, let's hear it from our favourite contestant of the night. And there she is. Alcohol. Slow down. Alcohol was New Zealand's longest relationship. Alcohol was there for celebrations, funerals, birthdays, bad days, good days, days ending in a Y. Alcohol says that it helps you relax, socialise, be confident and forget. But alcohol forgets to mention that it's violent, addictive, creates accidents, fills hospital beds and creates that regrettable text. But alcohol was legal, advertised and politically protected. If alcohol were invented today, it would never pass the ethics approval. But because it's tradition, it's practically untouchable, a firm fan favourite, a walking red flag, and somehow still the winner every season. Alright, we've heard from our contestants, so here's the thing New Zealand, only one of these is criminalised, and it's not the one filling emergency rooms every weekend, and it's not the one killing people quietly over decades. So New Zealand, which contestant do you choose? The natural one that calms people down, or the one that causes the most harm? Throws the best parties. Based on your history, I think we already know the answer. Legality, it turns out, has nothing to do with harm. Dun dun. The following is based on true events, mostly.
All rise for Honourable Judge Mills.
Jamie, you stand accused of purchasing cannabis.
Your Honour, members of the jury, this was not a crime of intent. This was not a criminal mastermind. This was merely a teenager, and later an adult, operating within the national accepted cultural framework known as knowing a guy. The prosecution would have you believe that this was a calculated, illegal act, that drugs are rare, hidden, and difficult to obtain, that one must seek them out like some kind of underground criminal genius. Let's rewind a bit. Let's go back to high school in New Zealand. You didn't buy weed from a dealer. You bought it from someone's cousin, a guy who dropped out, or maybe an older brother who had connections. There was always a person who knew a person who could score a tinny. Now, a tinny was roughly a gram, possibly less, possibly full of twigs, and definitely wrapped up in tinfoil like leftovers, and the price was a crisp $20 note. And then, members of the jury, you'd laugh too much, eat too much, and for a brief moment, life was good. Now, Your Honour, let's discuss the uncle factor. Everyone remembers it, that earthy smell wafting out from the garage during a family barbecue. Nobody called the cops. Nobody freaked out, because your uncle came back and then he flipped the sausages. You grew up thinking, wow, this is normal. Now, members of the jury, the prosecution will say cannabis is a gateway to criminal behaviour. And yes, the culture escalates. But Your Honour, this is the point. Drugs are everywhere in New Zealand. Not because we're reckless, but because the culture has made them accessible. And pretending otherwise, well, that doesn't stop anything.
Members of the jury, how do you find the defendant?
Guilty.
So New Zealand likes to pride itself on being progressive, but when it comes to drugs, we're pretty old school, man. Our system is based on one core belief. If we punish people hard enough, they'll fucking stop. This belief has survived decades of arguments, mountains of data, and even reality itself. Drugs are illegal, I know that, and the police enforce that too. Because let's be honest about what the system actually does. It justifies police budgets, justifies surveillance, and justifies heavier sentencing. And it also gives the state legal reason to search people, raid homes, and seize assets. Which sounds pretty tough on drugs, but politicians love talking about the gangs, eh? Because gangs make great villains. And yeah, gangs absolutely profit off drugs. But here's the uncomfortable bit that you don't want to acknowledge. They actually profit because drugs are illegal, and the black market exists because you created it. Every time the government cracks down, violence increases, and organised crime adapts, often involving youth to do their dirty work. But New Zealand has a giant meth-shaped elephant in the room. New Zealand has one of the highest rates of meth youth in the developed world. That's a complete system failure, because meth thrives when people feel isolated, when the opportunities are limited, and when the system supports just aren't in place. And what's the government's response? More punishment, more penalties, more prison time, but less treatment. We're not stopping addiction. We're just putting it somewhere where we don't want to see it. Because prison isn't a fucking rehab. It doesn't treat trauma. It doesn't treat addiction. And it doesn't fix the real problem why people are on drugs in the first place. And when the people get out, they're just poorer, more traumatised, and more likely to reoffend. And we wonder why. Here's the part that the government doesn't see clearly. Drug addiction is a health issue. But treating it as a crime is much, much easier, eh? Because it looks tough, pays well, and it doesn't require much change or effort. Well, way back in 2020, something happened, and it wasn't COVID. We almost came this close to decriminalising cannabis here in New Zealand, just a razor-thin margin. One of the biggest social policy votes in decades. And half the country didn't even turn up for it. Because a lot of people who smoke weed, they didn't vote. Because they've lost faith in our government. They don't trust it. And to be honest, neither do I. Cannabis is still illegal on the black market. Police waste more and more taxpayer money. And nothing changes. But what would change look like? Complete decriminalisation on all drugs. And look, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, this man's fucking crazy. But hear me out. Allow full studies into the research and development on LSD and psilocybin. Find out why it's so good at treating mental health related diseases. We need more health-led responses. We need more education. We need better treatments for addiction. We've got to stop pretending like drugs will disappear, because New Zealand doesn't have a drug problem. We've got a denial problem. So if this made you think or argue, shout at the screen, give this video a like down below, subscribe to my channel, or if you want to donate, hit the super thanks down below or join my Buy Me a Coffee account, and I'll see you in the next one, eh?